Bollywood. The movie industry is currently in a worse condition right now. Movies are getting worse responses from the public, entire social media is stuck on boycotting, and above all of them, the movies of South India are getting more responses, while Bollywood is tagged as the mafia of the movie industry. How the situation of Bollywood from the movie production industry to change into a disaster industry, country of 1.4 billion people, is after one industry, while the other movie industries like Gujarati, Bhojpuri, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam and Bengali are enjoying the show. Welcome to News Writer. Here we are going to explain how a movie industry that earned hundreds of millions in just few days is now even struggling to recover the production costs, and why other movie industries are getting bigger and getting a worldwide response. Okay, no doubt Indian movie producers are not come out of the 90s era where everything is totally similar in movies. A guy who's after a girl and that girl is get impressed by him, even though that girl is way too educated, brilliant and wiser than him. And there is always an antagonist who is after the main protagonist, and somehow either he is relative to the love interest of the protagonist or somehow tries to get rid of the girl. And the same plan is used in the majority of the Indian movies in 90s. And still, they are using the same formula to get the same result. In the 90s, relationships are not as common as they are right now in India. So that fantasy is not gonna work. They have to come out with something new. But the majority of the movies are actually predictable now. And when it's come to climaxing, they mostly focus on only action, where one guy is equal to Superman and kill many people while being unharmed. Now, this is a flawless victory, but what they are, Special Force Unit member or pro assassins? Whatever. The same old concept are running for more than 30 years and expect people to watch what is served. And now people are not willing to buy the same old concept with the new packaging. Then it's up to producers to give at least something new. Okay, in my personal opinion, I have no problem if a good teacher's son become a good teacher, a great surgeon's kid become the best surgeon, but it doesn't mean it applies to everyone. A teacher's son can be a police officer, and an artist's son can be a programmer, or vice versa. But in Bollywood, this is on a totally new level. Anyone who is relative in the movie industry, take that guy or girl as lead actor even before any kind of great acting history, while other strugglers who are indeed great actors are being ignored and left behind in big budget movies. And those star kids are getting the lead roles in movies, high payment and brands, while great actors like Manoj Vajpayee, arshadwarsi and Pankaj Tripathi are sidelined. And those star kids are known for big movie projects, and their fans only watch those movies to see their star on screen. Otherwise, their acting, expression, the depth of character is totally missing. And above all of this, if the movie is flopped and not earned well, the door is still open for those star kids. And over bad acting is causing serious harm. But still, not gonna learn and not agree to bring other artists into the field. The entire world was stuck because of COVID. Theaters, shopping malls and everything is under strict lockdown. Not for just few months but for almost straight 2 years. Places with a high number of people are not allowed to enter. And this indeed affects the audience. But for entertainment they find alternatives, which are indeed very cheaper, easy to access, give more sensible stories and plots, and show creativity in cinematography. Platforms like Netflix, Amazon and other streaming services provided the world level content to public in their homes at the cheapest cost. And in comparing the content that Bollywood provides, this content shows the depth of creativity. And now people are not into buying the same old predictable storyline which they were watching for over more than 3 decades. Series like La Casa de Papel, Wednesday, Stranger Things gives a good taste of content to people, which Indians lacks a lot for over years. The unpredictable storyline, depth of characters and great VFX, because you know what Indian VFX is like? Well, never mind. The viewers are the ones who build any artist as respected or abandoned. But if the artists start ignoring the potential of the audience and pretending they are the top level person, this is not how things works. And worst of all, if artists are ignoring improvisation and criticizing, or should I say bullying the audience, if the audience start requesting betterment, and this does happen in India. Here are some statements you will like to rethink what is wrong here.
The audience has made us, nobody else has made us. The same people pointing fingers as also, they are only making these nepotistic stars. Na, आप जा रहे हो ना film देखने, तो मत जाओ. Nobody has forced you.
नहीं, I think हमने कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ी सी वो गलती कर दी कि हमने साइलेंस रखा था. वो हमारी शराफत थी और उसका एक एडवांटेज ले गया कि हमारी कमजोरी थी. But I think somewhere हम ही ने थोड़ा सा ज्यादा सहन कर लिया. अब लोगों को आदत, आप जब थोड़ा ज्यादा सहन कर लेते तो फिर वो ज्यादा ही होने लगता है आपके साथ.
And also, if you mock your audience for showing their anger against them, A statement like this could ignite more anger among people.
पिक्चर देखो ना देखो हमारा बॉयकॉट जरूर करो.
So if artists are criticized for mocking the culture and idols of the majority, and I'm saying just criticized, not attacked, humiliated, hacked, protest, or any kind of issue. If criticism is not taken seriously and people only focus on boycotting their movies, the big trends in boycotting this movie or that movie, it does works well, but the big stars of the industry are not learning lesson. Provoking them for boycott is nothing but hitting your own foot on the sharp axe. Like, why tell people that if you don't want to watch, then don't go, or threaten them in a tone like we are silent? What does that all gonna sort? It can only screw up things more and more, and the return is very hard or maybe impossible. And after all this, still actors focus on movies that are kind of mocking the idols in movies, giving statements like indeed hurt people, and people are boycotting more and more movies that don't have anything to do with these statements, and their denial mode is always on. For example, when movies like Brahmastra, Richa Chaddha or other movies perform badly on screen, they make COVID crisis an excuse, but at the same time they deny the boycott gang is responsible. And now when the movie Pathan is doing good in theaters, the same people are now mocking the boycott gang. Either accept that they flopped your movies before and they failed here, or just say people were afraid of COVID before but now entering theater because for them COVID is no more. You can't just use two different statements. Look, I'm not into politics nor into any kind of stuff that involved police records to be mentioned, but currently this is also one of the reasons why Bollywood is suffering right now. In history, some big stars had connection with mafia bosses, and their present day involvement in drug consumption and supply cases are the biggest reasons why people literally consider Bollywood as anti-Indian. And this opinion is not built in past decades, but in the past 4 years. Starting with the drug connection of Bollywood actors who were summoned by Narcotics Control Bureau are not just normal actors. These are big names. Deepika Padukone, Sara Ali Khan and Shraddha Kapoor are just mentioned. But other actors like Bharti Singh, who was also summoned by NCB for not just consuming but involvement in supply as well. And currently the investigations are still on, so we are not going into any conclusion but mentioning what dent has been done by these investigations on the entire industry. And the biggest star in Indian industry, Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryankhan's arrest for being part of a drug party is also not just causing a big dent in the industry but caused a major impact that need nearly decades to fix. And in Indian society, these allegations and involvement are not acceptable at all. And also the history of this industry with people who connected with those who were involved in anti-India activity is like fuel in fire. There is no doubt that Bollywood is indeed full of double standards. Currently, the entire boycott and failure of Bollywood are somehow related to this as well. Two major events in the year 2020 break the reputation of Bollywood. The death of Sushant Singh Rajput provoked anger in public, and Bollywood remains silent on his demise. Worst of all, instead of showing condolence, the entire PR agencies start showing this guy was mentally unstable, while people who were close to Sushant was not agreeing with this. And the second event was when Kangnaranaut's office was demolished over a statement in under 24 hours. Media and the actors start justifying the action because she was totally aggressive against these stars, and also she was standing with the close ones of Sushant Singh Rajput. And according to Indian law, demolition cannot be conducted within 24 hours after giving notice. But the office was demolished within 24 hours, and still on this the big people is still taking the side of government because they want to sideline her as well. The biggest hypocrisy shows up when Aryankhan was arrested and the entire Bollywood started giving statement like the kid is innocent and we are together, blah blah blah. Condition where they should stand, they remain silent. But when it comes to a star kid, many actors, directors, producers and even journalists are start giving statement in Aryan's favor. This is what provokes more and more. How many times you guys will still remain silent on someone's death and wanted a demolition and stand for a guy who has been detained by Narcotics Control Bureau? This hypocrisy was indeed made an image of a closed business circle of Bollywood where they only care about themselves. Honestly, I grew up watching all kind of movies, like Hong Kong movies where I see Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee doing their best in action, watching old Indian movies like Sholay and South Indian movies as well. And in my personal opinion, when South Indian movies indeed do unrealistic action, making cringy content, the same time Bollywood is copying Hollywood action, like the Matrix scene, same copied in Awara Pagal Divana. South was indeed lacking a lot in creativity. But the year 2022 was really great for South Indian movies. Kantara, which I personally like, and RRR and KGF2 are showing what South India is capable of. And even with the low VFX, the South Indian movie industry was capable to produce great movies as well, like Robot in 2010, Bahubali in 2015, and Bahubali 2 in 2017. And yeah, RRR, what you know right now, is directed by Rajkumar Rao, who's also directed both Bahubali movies. If the South is capable to show the quality and the content is far greater with unpredictable stories showing their culture and history, why people won't watch it? And all the points I mentioned above about dark history, mocking audience and disrespect towards their culture, and always showing up with the predictable stories and nepotism do not exist in this industry. For example, a big star Yash is well known in the whole of India for being Rocky Bhai in the movie KGF and KGF2. He was son of a bus conductor. This industry represents Indian culture as its part of the movie. They respect their audience because they know audience is the one who builds them. And best of all, this industry always come up with unpredictable stories like Kantara, RR and Bahubali. So why wouldn't people watch them? Well, honestly, there are still hopes it can revive and be back as the industry people love. But there should be some major changes in the industry that should take seriously. Stop treating the big star cast as a guarantee of success, because movies like KGF2 can be a success if they show the right actors in proper characters. Ravina Tandon as her Prime Minister Ramika Sen, Sanjay Dutt as Adhira. They are indeed star actors, but they are playing antagonists. But still, people appreciate them. The industry should focus on proper actors for the right characters. I mean, imagine yourself that Rajpal Yadav as Adhira. Will it suit the character? Well, his parody of Amitabh Bachchan in Apna Sapna Money didn't suit him. Adhira is another level. Avoid unnecessary conflict with the audience, because they are the ones who are the reason why you are a star. Just focus on your work and take criticism on what to improve. But consider yourself as a big gun who can do anything, and people will still watch your movies. Please, people have alternatives, so don't do this at all. Give chances to better artists. Just keep giving chances to star kids and giving them big budget movies that are down on earning. It is not acceptable. There are indeed great artists like Manoj Vajpayee, arshadwarsi, Pankaj Tripathi, yeah, the same guy with our Thor in Extraction. So give priority to those actors, not star kids who are keep failing the movie. And this industry turned into some sort of a family business where a family produces a movie, directs it, they are the star cast in the movie and earn a profit for themselves. Focus on better stories, because the world is changing. The same 3-decade-old story plot ain't gonna work anymore for the public who have access to the internet. And you know, if in India Korean dramas and anime are getting hyped by teenagers, who will watch you then? So please improve the quality of content, otherwise you will be left alone with no one except your investors. Stop political influence or try to influence politics. Because of this, the entire Bollywood is split into two parts, one for right and one for left. And because of this, when movies like the Kashmir Files get targeted by the other side, and the same vice versa, movies like Richa Chaddha and Brahmastra get targeted as well. Stop blaming the audience for failure. As we all can see, some movies are flop because of very weak plots, bad acting, and worst of all, the wrong casting of actors. So blaming the audience for their political reasons to boycott them is totally running away from responsibility. For example, the movie Kashmir Files had no big budget, and it shows the brutality of the 90s Kashmir genocide. It performs well, while movies like Brahmastra with very bad plot and acting caused major harm to the movie, and they blame people for this. And also, actors who have different ideologies should not brag about this. For example, I am more like right-centric, but when it's come to acting, I love Prakash Raj's acting, even though he has a left-leaning ideology. But that doesn't mean I hate his acting. But actors like Kangnaranaut, who is actually the right-winger, her acting is so worse in Dhakar, it only earns 25 million rupees, while the budget was 850 million rupees. So you get it? The political ideologies had nothing to do with the failure or success of movies. Look, neither I hate this industry, neither I love it at all. I just want entertainment, and where I get it from should be cheaper but give me the great quality of content. Even YouTubers in India like Ashish Chachlani comes with their low budget movies, the OTP, and Bhuvan Bam with his Tindora getting indeed good response. So in the world of a lot of great content creators, it is kind of very hard to compete, but improvisation could help to get the reputation back to how it was. I still remember back in 2011 we did our best to get tickets for movies like Ravan and Bodyguard. So the craze once people had because they don't know much about good quality contents. So if Bollywood tries its best to come out with this dark time, they do have to work hard. Otherwise we all know where it will go.